fly today?
The Reebok Pump sneakers, a shoe fad that has been around in previous decades. First were released in 1989, but most popular in the 1990s. Pump up and air out. Adam, do you remember the Reebok Pump sneakers?
I remember the design, and I immediately wanted them after seeing them on TV, in a TV commercial. I really liked the design because you're able to pump air into the bladder of the sneaker, and so that the sneaker would kind of swell and it would provide better ankle support. A lot of people thought it prevented injuries, but the company never really boasted for that, obviously for legal reasons. But yeah, I remember them quite well. I remember wanting them as soon as I saw them. How about you? Do you remember the Reebok Pump sneakers?
I remember a lot of the commercials for this shoe and NBA stars using them, or it was probably one of the first shoes that started sponsoring NBA players, maybe. I didn't have a pair of Reebok Pump basketball shoes, but I actually had a pair of Reebok Pump tennis shoes. I was really into tennis at that time and played tennis almost daily. And remember buying and wearing my tennis pumps with the pump on the tongue of the shoe being a tennis ball.
Oh, okay. I see. Mine was a basketball.
Right. I guess it depended on the sport or whatever. I enjoyed my tennis pumps and felt like they gave me an advantage. Whether it was psychological or not, I don't know, but I felt like I had better support and played better with them. So why do you think the Reebok Pump sneakers faded away?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, I think it was an iconic basketball shoe for that time. But I think just like many other fads, it just kind of fizzled out with time. Maybe they lost their appeal. Maybe people thought the design was kind of stupid after a number of years. I'm not entirely sure why it faded away, but I know that people aren't really wearing them nowadays. Why do you think that Reebok Pump sneakers faded away?
I think they've always kind of been around, like some other things. Like they might still exist today, but are just not popular anymore. In a way, they were just kind of, in thinking back on it, they were just kind of lazier. It was like an easier way of just tightening up your shoes instead of having to tie them really tight, let's say.
Yeah.
And I think it was only the tongue of the shoe that
expanded,
pumped air into it.
Yeah.
So it was more like pushing down onto your foot, not really ankle support.
Okay.
So I think in marketing for Reebok itself, I mean, they just had to maybe pay too much for the superstar athlete to wear them or endorse them type thing.
Product placement.
And it was also a sneaker that didn't work for the average day running shoe. And I think the cost wasn't beneficial really unless you use them for actually playing a sport type thing. They might have been cool just, wearing them to school type thing, but don't think they were very beneficial just for a day-to-day shoe. So do you think the Reebok Pumps would fly today?
Well, fads often make a comeback at some point. I can see the Reebok Pump making a comeback because of its retro appeal. People might look at it and think, oh, that looks kind of cool. A lot of these retro designs that you see pop up here and there as the years go by. I don't see why Reebok Pumps would be left out of that kind of thing. But how about you? What do you think? Do you think that Reebok Pumps could fly today?
I think they could make a comeback if you got the right athletes and stars to promote it type thing. The marketing would have to be geared towards the sports it may be useful for. So again, like tennis pumps for tennis, basketball pumps for basketball. I don't know if it would work with skates for like ice hockey or not, but who knows. They would have to have a cool look and a production cost that was worthwhile for Reebok to kind of bring back. So I don't know if they cost more to make or, were a little bit more of a pain in the ass to make, having to put that into the shoe. But at a reasonable cost with a cool look along with the whole gimmick of the whole thing, it could work.
Also, give us your feedback on the Reebok Pump sneaker in the comments below. You can also share with us your memories of the Reebok Pump sneakers on our social media at 10 Years Apart Pod or at our website 10yearsapart.com. Reebok Pump sneakers. Did you have them? Would they fly today? Yes.
Sure.
Thanks for watching that clip, and if you like what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Leave us your comments below and check out more at 10yearsapart.com. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. You can find the full episode of that podcast this clip was from, plus other videos from us right here. Thanks again.